Welcome to Unshut, where nothing is off the table, keeping quiet and holding back is no longer an option. I am your host, Mo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going from unshut to unfucking shut, because when I tell you we are going in, we are going in. I was recently triggered by a conversation with my trainer, a conversation if you even want to call it that, because I left his ass on red. And just so you know, he's still my trainer today. I wouldn't change anything about my journey with him for anything else in the world. This, however, is not about my trainer. This is about a trigger and figuring out where the hell it came from. Last week I canceled one of my training sessions with my trainer, and though questioning the reason for my cancellation was not the problem, the choice of words, which were not intended to bring out the devil out of me, but unfortunately did, was the problem. He said, put your health first and everything else will fall into place. What else will fall into place? Last time I checked, I had a great fucking life. Typically when I cancel, I reschedule and still show up. I canceled with plenty of time and still made the time to go out for a walk. But of course he didn't know that because I didn't post about it on my Instagram. And if I cancel, why does this mean I'm not making it a priority? So while it may be easier for some people who have set schedules that don't change very often, I have a fucking business to run. Shit comes up. Why does my work ethic have to be questioned because I cancel? Better question, why the fuck am I being so defensive about this? I was so pissed, but not pissed at my trainer. But I was pissed at everyone who came before him who had once told me I could not be successful if I wasn't in the gym working out and training with a trainer. Now, I know I'm not in the best shape ever, but goddamn, there is nothing about my Instagram that shouts my 600-pound life. Maybe big, fat, and fabulous, but I could be wrong. Receiving the following DMs flat out pissed me off. Hi Mo, how are your goals going? Hi Mo, work with me and I can improve all aspects of your life. Hi Mo, want your life to be better? Start with your fitness. Like, go and get your money back, bro, because whoever trained you to start a conversation with that same line is an idiot. Like, how have you reached a point in your life where a script is what you have to follow in order to reach out and connect with someone? I agree, being physically active is so important for someone's mental health. But can we stop assuming that someone is not doing the groundwork or improving other aspects of their life because of what they look like? Years ago, a trainer told me that because I did not want to train with him, I was not ready to achieve this great level of success. If you are a trainer, specifically one that is broke, how the hell are you going to be the one to tell me that I need to improve other aspects of my life? There is nothing I haven't accomplished yet that I needed abs for. This is such a shitty comparison, but hear me out. If I have 100 followers on Instagram and you have 10, how are you going to send me a message and try to convince me that you can help me grow my Instagram? Don't try and sell me something you can't even do for yourself. I know plenty of people who do social media marketing or social media management, and they have separate pages for their personal life that they don't try to grow. But the social media accounts that they run and manage exceed mine and what I do. So who do you think I'm going to go to for advice if I want to grow my Instagram account? And if you think this is about social media followers, well then you're missing the point and I don't know any other way to dumb it down for you. Someone asked me several months ago what was my secret to success. My response was, when you go to a training, take everything that they teach you, but always leave a little room for rebellion. And the reason I say that is because if I am one of 100 people in one room, learning this method, learning this teaching, the second I leave that room, I now have 99 competitors. To be able to take a great teaching and spinning it your way is what will set you apart from everyone else in that room that just got the same advice. How do you expect to grow your business if you lack the self-awareness to read a room? Every client is going to be different. If you approach me the same way you approach everyone else with the same line sounding like a fucking bot, how do you expect me to believe that you're going to work your ass off at creating a customizable fitness program for me? Get the fuck out of here. When you are in an industry that requires working with so many different types of people, reading the room is key. In that moment, when my trainer said that line to me, it triggered all these feelings and memories I had had. I was angry because had my trainer just taken the second to remember what I do, the recent transitions and journeys that I am on, he wouldn't have thought I was canceling because I was not making my health my priority. Did it not matter weeks ago when I canceled and still showed up in the morning earlier than what I normally would have to at least get it done? Side note, he did give me credit, but remember, this is not about my trainer and this is not about my conversation with my trainer. This is about how I was triggered, so I only read that one line that set me off. Nothing else in that message mattered. I absolutely hate trainers who think they are superior because they work out. Fitness is not everyone's passion. So how are you going to engage them and get them intrigued enough to want them to make it a part of their lifestyle? I have always been an active person. I may not look like it, but so fucking what? I am far from unhealthy, and being told that I could not reach my highest potential because I was not fit has always been one of my biggest motivations. I think the feeling of how quickly someone can count you out is what sets me off. This is the same trigger I used to have when I was traveling 3 to 4 weekends of every single month, and people had the audacity to reach out to me and question why I did not make the time to see them while I was in their city. When was the last time you came to see me? But because on social media, traveling and visiting all these places looked like so much fun, there was no possible way I could have been there for business, right? Ridiculous. You want to know what's easy? Assuming that someone is falling off the wagon. It is so difficult being in a position where you constantly feel like you have to explain yourself to someone to convince them that you are committed or that you are taking it serious. Big lesson here, realizing why you are being triggered and allowing yourself to go through this journey of unraveling why you are feeling this way. It'll take you through a roller coaster of emotions, but I highly encourage it. It would have been easy for me to just dismiss this feeling, completely ignore it, and not work through it. I am far from perfect and I will always have insecurities, but don't mistake my insecurities or the comfort zones that I have faced for stillness, because even now at 34, here I am on this podcast, stepping out of my comfort zone, and that sounds like growth to me. Add that to the tab of working on myself and not needing abs to do it. You know what else you don't need abs for? Going to badbitchtea.com, getting yourself this mug to remind yourself of the badass you are one sip at a time. Bad Bitch Tea, no bullshit, just tea and only the best for the baddest. I don't have anything against online coaching, promoting your business, or pursuing me for a potential client. I am completely against, though, being an annoying piece of shit who can't come up with their own way of selling themselves and their services, and who are convinced they can upgrade anyone's life by just working out with them. You are also not a life coach, so stick to the fitness knowledge and remind yourself that every client is going to be different. So don't approach everyone with the same lame-ass pickup line. And again, I don't knock online coaching, but in my opinion, so many see it as an easy way to globalize their business and make money off of it, which is great to profit from it if you have the chops for it. Can someone point me in the direction of who is giving these trainers the education on how to send DMs? At this point, I'd rather listen to Susie, who is working so hard at convincing me she is not a part of a pyramid scheme, and that by buying one shake from her, I can too sell one and then drive a Mercedes-Benz. And I don't want anyone to think that the fitness industry has made this scary impression. I have had some of the best training experiences, which is why my standards are so high. Great House in Las Vegas was such a positive experience. Comparing anyone to that experience truly made me a snob. I loved being able to go into their facility, and on one side you have personal training, on the other side you had physical therapy, which was very convenient for me, not only because I was getting that attention, but because on days where I was having back spasms or I was stuck with my back, I could still go in and train, but also seek the therapy I needed for my back. Aside from having the best of both worlds there, I trained with Trevor and JC, who, in my opinion, they were too secure in their knowledge and what they were doing. There was no need for them to beat me down in order to bring out the best in me. And also, they knew my schedule was so chaotic. They knew that my days would always be a little bit inconsistent because I was traveling so much. For just about half of my life, I have dealt with a spinal fracture, but even on my worst days, I still showed up. And the care I received, specifically from Trevor, was just unmatched. I was handled with such care, and in the shortest time for the first time in my life, I saw my body make changes I never thought I would get to see. For the first time, I felt like I did not have to be the victim to my spinal injury. Finally, I started to dabble into fashion, something as little as starting to wear pants. And if you've known me for a long time, you know shorts, a hoodie, and checkered Vans was all my closet consisted of. I also had a very positive experience with Jimmy, the owner of Great House, but we're not going to talk about that too much because he saw me face down ass up with needles in my ass. And if you've ever done needling, you know they jiggle, and we're just going to leave it at that. I knew within seconds of meeting my trainer now, Jeff, who's the owner of Northcore Fitness from Texas and Washington. He checked every box I had created because of Trevor and JC. While it may have sounded like there was a little bit of a disconnect between my trainer and I due to this recent interaction, there wasn't. Up until this point, I just had never voiced out loud how it made me feel when trainers underestimated my success because of my weight. So, if you're a trainer trying to promote your online business, sending random DMs and flat out telling people that if they want to be successful, they have to lose weight or be in better shape, shoot me a DM and I'll give you a tip or two on how to go from broke and bitter to profitable and relatable. You cannot teach personality. You cannot teach it factor. You either have it or you don't. And when you don't, just tap into your other qualities that you can bring to the table. That is being successful. Just a few days ago, I came across a post on Instagram by a trainer named Sammy Howell. She is from Florida. And she was talking about calories and macros. And though I have no interest in that topic, I watched and I listened the entire time, and all I could think was, this is how you engage. I am not interested, but I stayed the entire time. Why can't everyone in this industry be this relatable? And why can't they just connect? I had the pleasure of meeting Sammy, who trained my bestie Krista through online coaching. And all I can say is your approach, your willingness to think outside of the box and connect with people truly authentically and organically can truly set you apart, and that goes for any industry. If you have ever felt triggered by these asshole trainers, I feel your pain. And there are good quality trainers out there. But don't ever think for a second your weight, your look is a true reflection of your success. But before I wrap this up, next week is going to be a Monday you don't want to miss. Coming to Unshut Podcast, Stranger Danger. Join me on a journey of meeting some of my Instagram followers for the very first time here on the podcast. And while we are on the topic of guests, I have officially confirmed in 2024 some artists that will be on the podcast, and that is some tea I will not spill just yet. Stay tuned.